Hello, and welcome to my podcast. This is Nancy DeLeonardi from Nancy Be Inspired, and I am so happy that you are here with me today. Welcome in. I welcome all the new people who are listening in for the first time. I am so happy that you're here, and welcome back to my followers who have listened in before and are returning for more. I am so happy that you're here as well. I want to just share with you right away. Just get comfortable, right? I always say that get in your comfortable chair, get your, favorite drink that you like, get comfortable if you're headed out for a walk, which is one of my favorite things. Make sure that you've got your tennis shoes on and your headset all ready to go. And let's get started, okay? So for those of you who do not know me, I am Nancy DeLeonardi, and Nancy Be Inspired, Live Your Best Life is my business. And in my business, I defy the world by awakening your inner giant. That is the premise of my business, for supporting people who have their back up against the wall and they don't see a way out. And I have created a framework that worked for me myself. I've been in those shoes many, many times. And because of what I learned from the framework that I used in my life, I am here to inspire you, share that framework with you by being on posting on social media and, putting information out there, creating these blogs, podcasts, whatever it takes to get the information out there for you so that you can use these tools to live your best life. That is the foundation of my business, and it is my authenticity. It is what I've used in my life. And what you see is what you get here. So fitness, health, and wellness are my niches. I have been a fitness instructor in Zumba for over 10 years, but I've been a part of the fitness community since I turned 18 for sure. I've always had a gym membership, and prior to that, I was on swim teams and synchronized swimming in my youth. So health and wellness has always been a part of my life, and I'm here to share information with you in all of those realms as needed, or as I feel inspired to put it out there. Today, our podcast is going to be about the path to empowerment and building confidence from within. I wrote a blog about this, but I actually wanted to talk to you about it as well, because it is the foundation for moving forward in life with anything that's in front of you. My slogan, my tagline word actually is defy, right? Because I've defied personally everything in front of me that seemed impossible to overcome. I was able to overcome it. And the way I was able to overcome it is because of the awakening of my inner giant that I did not know existed. I did not know how powerful she was until I had my back up against the wall multiple times. But it took multiple times because there's a spiritual journey where you become awakened, and you continue to become awakened in your life, and things continue to happen until you actually do become awakened. And that is definitely true for me. It took several times for me to break through those obstacles before I realized that there was a framework that I was using to awaken my inner giant. And when I sat back and thought about that, I thought, well, I have to share that with people. So that comes from, that empowerment actually comes from confidence, and confidence, whether you're confident or you're not confident right now, I just want you to know that it is a skill that you can actually learn, right? Some people are born confident, and they're confident their entire lives. But other people, you want to get maybe more confident in other things, right? They say public speaking is the number one thing that people are not confident doing. And again, you can take courses and you can learn that, right? So it's the same thing. No matter what you want to achieve, and you're lacking confidence in it, you can definitely learn it. And so I want to give you some tips today and actionable items that will help you grow in that space. And I want to say too that life is about, it's a journey, and it's about growing. If you so desire to move forward from where you are today, you really want to move forward, you're stuck, you don't know how to do it, you're in the right place. You are here listening to this podcast because you need to hear what I have to say. And that's how the universe works. And that's what's so beautiful about it, is that you just stumbled upon this, and what I'm going to say is what maybe you needed to hear so that you can move forward with your life. But I will say that inspiration, or anything that you take in, it will hit the ground and stop if you don't take action, right? Action ambition and action is the driver, right, for the next step. You can listen all day long. You can have a pile of self-help books and you can listen all day long. But if you don't actually take that step, that action, then you're really not going to progress in life. So, listening, and sometimes, I'm just going to say, sometimes people need to listen, multiple times. They need to listen and read about things and learn for a while before they actually implement it. And that's okay. That's okay, as long as you eventually implement it, okay? And so I'm going to start with, the path to empowerment starts with confidence and building your confidence within. And the path of least resistance in that space would be to actually focus on what you're good at, right? You can be confident in something right now. And whatever that is, I'm going to just share with you that throughout this podcast today, I'm going to revert back to Zumba and fitness because those are relatable items to me that I can make an analogy with. So just know that I'm going to refer to that, but I'm not only speaking exclusive to that realm. Okay, you can take the fundamentals of what I'm saying and apply it to your personal life. But if you're good at something, you want to put yourself in the environment where people are good at that or better than you in that environment so that you can learn and grow. So, for example, Zumba, okay? I was a Zumba student for 9 years before I became a Zumba instructor 10 and a half years ago. So almost 20 years now, Zumba has been part of my life. Now, for me, physical fitness has always been a part of my life since I was a child, and did synchronized swimming in a pool at 6 years old is where it all began for me. But I went and joined a gym, and I've had a gym membership my entire adult life. And so when I walked into a Group X class, taking Zumba for the first time, when I moved to Virginia, I had never heard of it before. I went into the gym, I went into the classroom, and I was not a stranger to fitness, but I was uncomfortable walking in that Zumba fitness class, not knowing what it was going to be. And I can tell you for myself, my personal experience, and for other people who came into my class for over a decade, this what rang true for many, many people, which was you walk into the class and you've got your big t-shirt on and your leggings and shoes, and you're in the back of the room, right? Most people start off in the back of the room because you're hiding, right? Usually the classes are packed. You're hiding behind people. You don't want to be seen because you know yourself, you don't know what's going on here, and you don't want to be in the front for other people to see you. I can only say that was my mentality. I don't know if that's the mentality of everybody else at the back of the room, but that's what I've seen over the years. So you're in the back of the room, but you know that you like to dance and you know that you like music. So again, to my point, what are you good at, right? Where is your confidence? Well, I know how to dance and I like music. So I'm taking this class because I think it's going to be okay, but I have no idea what it's about. So you start out in the back of the room because you're not confident. So over time, if you keep coming back, and that's key, not quitting. If you know me, I always say that in my posts, don't quit, right? Because you don't want to quit something that you're pursuing, okay? There's a difference, right? If you're pursuing a skill and you're honing in a skill and you want to get better at something, you don't want to quit on it until you have achieved it. And then I'm going to talk more about that in this podcast because that's step number 2. But so you're learning this, and what I've seen in my life and what happened for me myself was then I went from, and people, you went from being in the back of the room with the big t-shirt on, right? And that you then go and get gym clothes. And now you've got a gym top on and you're dressed more, for a gym class. And you've maybe moved up a row, right? And then now you're talking to people next to you and you're becoming friends with people and they're showing you and helping you and you're getting better at this class. You're learning the steps. And every time you go, then you move up another row, right? And then you move up another row. And now maybe you're wearing a crop top because maybe now you've become more defined. Maybe you've lost more weight. And even if none of those things have happened, you're building confidence, right? Because now I'm not the newbie in the room. I get this and I can move forward. And I can tell you as a Zumba instructor, those people who eventually moved forward, and I have watched them move forward. I have seen them like a flower, a rose that's a bud, right? And then that rose just slowly opens up into this beautiful rose, right? The bud turns into this beautiful rose. I have seen that happen so many times, and it is so beautiful because the people that were in the back with their back up against the wall, eventually migrated to be my front row students. And those students really are an extension of the instructor, because when you have a packed class, the people that are in the back row cannot necessarily see the instructor in the front. And I was not always on a stage in the gyms that I taught. So the front row people are the people that they can see. And so they help the back row people see what's going on to stay in sync. So this analogy is for you to put yourself in an environment with people that like, what you enjoy doing, and that are better than you at that skill, and, can help you grow. Because, you want to, when you want to move forward in your life, and people who are in this space where you want to grow into, you have to look at the skill sets that they have and that they embrace, that you need to learn yourself, whether you need to get better at it, improve your skill set, or learn new skill sets to be that person, or similar to that person that you aspire, to be. And so, it could be calligraphy. You want to start taking a calligraphy class, and you've got all the tools. You go into the class, you have to practice. There are people in there that can really do it. It's their business, and they can show you little tips and tricks. But again, I'm just going to say, put yourself in the environment, with a skill set that you already have. And then once you start getting better at it, that's going to build your confidence, right? That confidence from within. And that's where, fundamentally, that's where you can begin taking action. So that's my number one, is that, find something, identify it for yourself, what you're good at and what you want to improve. And I am also going to say, and I know society tries to change this wording, but practice does make perfect. Practice makes perfect. You have to practice. And when I became a Zumba instructor, I spent hours, hundreds of hours practicing. There's a saying that for every successful person, they've put in their 10,000 hours of time in that niche before they've actually become the superstar that they end up being, And I will tell you this too, that I was fortunate enough to be in the presence of Magic Johnson. And he was truly an incredible speaker, and his life story was truly amazing. And it was a series of synchronicities, and a series of visions for himself, and never quitting on his dream. But one thing that he said that has stuck with me, and I share it whenever I can, is that he believed, and he practiced this, and I've taken it from him, but I give him all the credit, is the tagline, if you will, was be ready so you don't have to get ready. He said that, be ready so you don't have to get ready. And what he meant by that was, when he was a kid and he was in college and he was playing basketball and he was practicing, in his mind, in his imagination, he wanted to go to the NBA. He wanted to be a professional basketball player. And he didn't want to wait for the call to get ready. He wanted to be ready so that when the call came, he could go. And that's exactly what he did. And that's exactly what happened to him. So don't think or buy into the new way of thinking, which is practice, doesn't make perfect. It does make perfect, and it does prepare you for the opportunity. So, and again, you want to put yourself in an environment where people are like you in the skill set that you want to grow and learn and get better at, right? Another saying is, if you walk like a duck and talk like a duck, then you're a duck, right? So meaning, you want to be in an environment with, Zumba instructors who are, go to Zumba convention like I did. I put myself in an environment with my peers, but then with Beto Perez, the creator of Zumba, I put myself in that environment because I learned from the best. I learned from his team, and then I learned from other instructors from all over the world. And I did that 4 times. I went to 4 conventions, and I learned incredible skills, and I got better and better and better, and I became a very good instructor because of all the tips that they taught me. But I had the desire to learn, and I implemented what they taught me, right? I took it into action, and I implemented in my class, and it had positive results, and I kept doing that. So that's number one, is that you want to identify your strengths, Put yourself in the environment. Number 2 is you want to set goals for yourself, little goals for yourself, achievable goals, and then you want to reward yourself for those goals, right? So, say you want to write a book, okay, and you want to write a book by the end of this year, then you need to set little goals that I want to write a book and I want to release it by the end of 2024. Okay, that's a goal. And then I need to come up with my outline and my 15 chapters and the title of those chapters, right? So that's a goal. And once you set that and you have it defined, you can check it off, right? That you've achieved your goal, and then reward yourself for that goal. For me, when I had, situations where I, was in a bad situation and I didn't have the finances to buy myself something, I would treat myself maybe to a cup of coffee, right? A $2 coffee at the time. Who knows what regular coffee is today? But I would just buy myself a black cup of coffee, and that would be my little treat, because the corner, coffee shops that we know where they are, every neighborhood has one or multiples. That was my treat. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to get myself this coffee because I achieved that goal. So again, have a mindset of when you achieve the goal, and then set the next set of goals. Now I'm going to write, 2 paragraphs a month, and I'm going to dedicate, 1 hour a night to writing that paragraph, or that chapter, excuse me. You want to write a chapter a month, and you're going to dedicate so many hours a night. And when you complete the chapter, then again, I completed chapter 1. That's a goal achieved. Okay, I'm going to go out and, get, a manicure or whatever, just set little goals. You hear what I'm saying. You understand. And so once you do that, you set achievable goals, you have to reward yourself. So you have to constantly keep updating your goals, but being aware of them. Okay, so that's going to help with empowerment, because you're going to build confidence from knowing that you've set a goal and you've committed to yourself and you've achieved the goal, and now you're on to the next thing. And the more that you do that, you're constantly elevating yourself. Unbeknownst to you, you might not really realize that, but you are elevating yourself. And so, just be mindful of that. Again, like I said, as it relates to Zumba, I would learn new songs. I want to get my step license, and I'm going to, go out and I'm going to take that class. I'm going to practice step Zumba, and I'm going to incorporate that in the gym. And then I'm going to teach that class in addition to my regular classes. And that's what I did. And then I went on to get another license, right? I went on to get strong, and I went on to get aqua, and I went on to get toning. And I went on to get Zumba 2, and I went on to get many licenses, but they were always on my list. I put myself in the environment with the people that knew it, and I set the goal. I implemented the goal. I took action on the goal. I put it on the schedule at the gym, and I was able to bring a whole new different group of people into those classes, again, with my ultimate goal of, Zumba being my passion, and how can I help people in the world get excited about fitness and have fun. And so, again, that's applicable to you with whatever is on your heart to do. And then the third thing is, for me, this really helped me, and it's affirmations. Affirmations really help when you are not in the place that you want to be, and you want to grow, and you need extra support, right? So for me, when I had my back up against the wall and things were not going well, prior to that, I actually had read like a lot of self-help books and affirmations, and I had read books about, affirmations. I would say affirmations to myself, but I actually would write them in lipstick on my mirror. You could write them on little sticky notes and stick them different places. And so say your goal is that you want to get healthier, right? And you need to drink more water. And I can't really, and this is a little plug for water and staying hydrated, because the number one thing you can do for yourself is stay hydrated. If you do nothing else, drink as much water as you possibly can. It really is good for your body. And so if you want to drink more water, you could have maybe, sticky notes with a little glass and a straw. And you could have 8 or 10, however many you want to drink. And then every day you take one away. They even sell those mugs that count it down, and you can drink it. That's a lot of water in one thing for me. But whatever works for you, just figure it out. But, that I'm going to drink more water, and I'm going to get more healthy, and I'm going to get more hydrated. The more hydrated I am, that's good for my organs, etc. So the affirmations, write them down and be mindful of them and stay committed to them, because they definitely will help you get to your goals and empower you, because your affirmations are a reflection of your aspirations. Honestly, I feel like, what you aspire to be and what you want to build for yourself, are written in your affirmations. And just know, and I may have said this earlier, but confidence is a skill set that you can learn, right? It's okay that you weren't born with confidence, or maybe you don't feel like you're confident, but you have an inner giant inside of you. And once you awaken it, and the way to awaken it is with these tools that I'm giving you here in this podcast. The way that you awaken that inner giant, we all have the inner giant. Every single human being has this inner giant inside of them. In the Christian community, we call it the Holy Spirit, but you can call it whatever you want. It is your higher self inside of you. And when you awaken it, right? And sometimes it takes traumatic things to awaken it and perseverance to awaken it. But when you awaken it, if you can envision that it's this inner seed that becomes bigger than you are physically, it is beyond your physical body, and the power of it that goes out into the universe precedes you. It is like a vibration of energy outside of you that is bringing all the things that you need into your life onto your path. This energy is a force that is reckoning with the world on your behalf. And it is a beautiful thing. And it is so incredible. And I know it to be true because I have witnessed it for myself multiple times. I have been in situations where everything in front of me, in the world, in front of me, what I could see in front of me said, that is never going to happen. It is impossible. And I said, no, it is possible. You can have your back up against the wall. You can feel like you can't see a tiny little crack. You can't go under it. You can't go over it. You are just trapped in the world's perspective, right? But you know that this inner giant can actually bust down that wall. It can come out and knock that thing to the ground, and you walk straight through it into your next level of life. And I tell you that it's true and it will happen, but you have to take action for yourself, right? You have to do the work. You have to believe, you have to practice, and you have to pay attention to your life and what comes on it. So again, the path to empowerment comes from building your confidence within. And the 3 tools, okay, to help you get there are, okay, getting confident, joining groups and communities with skill sets that you already have, that you're good at, that you want to take to the next level and learn more about, right? So you want to, I can't express enough how investing in yourself is actually has the most ROI, return on investment, than anything you could do. The more you invest in yourself, the return on that, the knowledge that you get back from that and that you put out into the world is 7 times greater than a monetary investment into anything, right? So what I mean by that is you could buy a $100,000 house, but you're not going to get $700,000 out of it in 5 years. That is very unlikely, right? But if you invest in yourself, you can turn your life around 7 times faster in those 5 years as you continue to invest in yourself, learn, read books, listen to podcasts, continue to hone your skill set, do the 10,000 hours behind the scenes. Never quit. Be ready so you don't have to get ready. As long as you keep taking the action with that ambition for the vision that you have for yourself, you will get there. You will get there. You just cannot quit, and you have to stay focused, okay? And then you have to make your list of goals and attainable lists, achievable lists. Reward yourself when you've achieved those goals. Make a new list. It's constantly a work in progress, right? And then you have your affirmations, because the affirmations come into play when life gets to us, right? Life is not, I'm not trying to say it's a bed of roses out here. It is not. And that's why you have affirmations, because when you get knocked down, right, you're like, that's it. Like, really? Today, this is happening. Like, really? That's where you go back to your affirmations and say, Nancy, you got this. You are stronger than you think. You've got that inner giant. Oh yeah, I got that. I can get through this. Like nothing. I am untouchable. I can get through this. So These are the tools that help you on your path to empowerment. So I am super excited for you to implement these tools into your life. And I am excited for you to share them with me once you achieve these goals, whatever stage you are. If you see a shift happening in your life, please reach out to me. Tag me on social media, DM me on social media. Let me know, because if you have a story that you want to share with me and you want to come onto my podcast and share your story with our listeners to help them take their life to the next level, you are welcome to do so. This platform is not about me. Just like when I teach Zumba class was never about me. It was about all the participants in the class. They were the rock stars. I was just the person with the playlist showing them the moves. That's the same thing here with my podcast and my business. I am just the facilitator here, giving you the tools, but you all are the rock stars. So once you have that vision, once you have that testimony, reach out to me. I will bring you out here. We can do it on Zoom. We can record it if you agree to that. If you just want to do, voice, it doesn't matter. Whatever you want, I will accommodate you so that we can share the story, heal the world, and help empower each other to our greatest, releasing our inner giants. We need to defy what the world tells us, to defy the negativity, and to embrace the empowerment that we have, which is awaken the giant within. So let this inspire you today.